First, they keep trying to hit us over the head with a so-called black and brown coalition. Now they're trying to usher in this new one with a black and Asian American coalition. Before I even get into this nonsense, because that's exactly what it is. Why is it that they are always trying to black and something else? It's black and brown. Now it's black and Asian. Then before you know it's going to be black and something else. It just doesn't work. We don't need to be linked up and lumped in with any of these other groups. We have enough problems on our plates where we have to deal with our own shit. And no one else needs to be involved. That's why I say I don't like that people of color thing when they try to lump black people into it, because even if we were involved, we would get the short end of the stick. It's almost like we would get the crumbs that's left over on the table. Now, I saw this, and shout out to Kid Gravity, because this is the only way I would have seen it, where he posted this article on his X account where this person, whoever this is, and it's coming from New Pittsburgh Courier.com, dated September 15th, which is today, as a matter of fact, of me recording this, where it says Kamala Harris represents an opportunity for coalition building between blacks and Asian Americans. When I saw this, I said, this is a load of crap. And everyone else who saw it clowned this post too. I didn't see any person who looked at this post on there where it originally came from and agreed that this should be a thing. Let's keep in mind that the AAPI, how they got that hate crime bill, a lot of them lied on black people in order to make that anti-Asian hate crime bill a thing. Let's not forget about the history that we have with that group. It's not the best history. Let's not also forget that a lot of them were allowed to plant their businesses in majority black neighborhoods, thus, as Rob would say, locking out and blocking out black entrepreneurs in their own neighborhoods from actually setting up shop there. Probably to run the same type of business, such as your carryouts, definitely your nail shops and your hair stores. 2 of the 3 of them should definitely be cornered by black Americans, specifically black American women. I remember there was a story that came out a few years ago where this woman, I forgot what state she was in, but it was somewhere, I would say, in the Midwest, where she was trying to set up a hair store of some type, but they wouldn't allow her to set it up there because she was within a certain mile radius of an already Asian owned hair store. So they didn't allow her to set up shop there. So what did she do? She packed up all of her stuff. She went and moved to Japan and she set up her store there, and now she's making a whole boatload of money. I wonder if her business is still in operation. I hope that it is, because it's been a few years since I actually first discovered that story. I think I talked about it on my channel as well. It's been that long ago, but that was an actual thing. But the fact of the matter is that she should not have had to do that. I'm glad that she was able to still set up shop, but she had to move away all the way to another hemisphere in order to do it, because they didn't allow her to do it here. And also, you know, I saw like how many times a lot of black people, granted, we keep telling them not to go in their stores, how many times we've seen where black people get attacked, especially a lot of women who go in these nail shops when they accuse them of stealing or not paying their tab, and they get assaulted and everything like that. There was a video that went viral where this black woman, she was she was doing DoorDash, and she was picking up the food for the person who ordered from DoorDash, and I believe the person ordered from like a Chinese establishment, like a carryout or something like that. And the people that she came in, she took a picture of the order, and the people assumed, the Asian woman assumed, that she was stealing the food, when all she was doing was her job to take the picture of it to confirm that, hey, I have your food and I'm about to bring it to you. And they ended up getting into an altercation with her. She ran from behind the counter, started attacking this black woman. The black woman started getting the best of her once they got outside, and then all of a sudden the big burly Asian male worker came from behind the counter, ran out the door, and started attacking this black woman. Started pummeling her. Like, you want us to link up with that? And that happened recently. The video that I'm talking about, that happened recently, probably within the last maybe month or so. It was very recent. I don't know if anyone saw it. If you are on X, you probably saw it. And I don't know if I'm gonna do it or not, but by the time y'all see this video, I might have shown this video on X. I know I posted it in a Discord somewhere. I'm not on X, on Rumble. because I said it was going to be too much to show on YouTube. But when I saw that, it was crazy. And I think what also was upsetting about it is a lot of people, before they got all the information, they assumed that this black woman was just going in there, one of two things. One, they thought she was going up in there just to, get her food that was for her, but it was actually for her DoorDash person. And another one, it was like, oh, they were just doing their job because they wanted to make sure she wasn't trying to steal or anything like that. No, she was doing her job by taking a picture of the food to confirm, because apparently under DoorDash or Uber Eats or whatever drive share company she was working for, you have to now take a picture of the food and send it to the person before you bring it to their doorstep, because it used to be a thing you just bring it to the doorstep, take a picture of it, and then leave. But some companies, or depending on where you live, you have to take a picture of the food when you get it and then when you drop it off. So that's most likely what she was doing, but they tried to throw it back onto her. And again, it was another situation at an Asian-owned establishment. So when you take all of that into consideration, plus things that happened even further in the past. I mean, when I was skimming through the article, they even brought up some stuff about, Latasha Harlins, and that was back in '91, and we all remember what went down, with that. And those of us old enough to remember. Of course, I was like 2 when that happened, so I wouldn't really remember, but I heard the story and saw the story as it unfolded over the years, and we saw the results of that. So this goes back years. I'm sorry, but I actually pulled up this article with the intention to read just some of it, but 2 things that's stopping me from doing it is, one, I already formulated in my mind that this whole so-called coalition is not going to work, so no need to read it there. And 2, the article was too damn long for me to even want to read it and dissect everything that they're saying, because I know it's a bunch of bullshit. And I've already gotten off of my brain what I had to say as it pertains to this. This so-called whatever that they're trying to formulate is very manufactured, and is very much so not going to work. There is not enough black people I know that would actually allow this to work, and I don't think there's many Asian Americans that's going to allow this to work either. I don't see this happening at all. They tried to do the black and brown thing. That thing did not sound good in theory, nor did it sound good on paper. And I'm going to say the same thing here. This does not sound good in theory, nor does it sound good on paper. I don't know what the hell they're trying to come together to do on the benefit, especially on the benefit of her. So that's not going to work. I mean, they've been peddling this thing now for the longest, that she's a quote unquote black woman in one breath, and then in the next breath she's Indian American. So they figure, oh, you know what? Let's play on that. She's half quote unquote black, and she's half quote unquote Indian. Let's see if we could bring both groups together and see if we can find a way to actually bring them together, so they can probably form a coalition to go out and support her in droves, because they already know that there is a lot of black people that would vote for her, but they also are seeing that there are a lot of black people that are pulling away, not only from her but from the Democratic Party as a whole. And then when it comes to the Asian Americans, well, their voting is very, very unique. How they vote is very, very unique compared to a lot of groups, including black people in this establishment, that they figure if they can pull us together, that can somehow garner the people collective together to do this. Mind you, y'all, this article that was written up is not by a mainstream person. It's I guess you could chalk it up to as a blog post. That's what makes it so laughable. That's what makes it to me as a joke. No offense to whoever wrote this, but this is just simply not going to work. It'll never work again, not on paper, not in theory. I mean, wishful thinking, maybe it can happen in your dreams, but that's probably as far as it's going to get, because in reality, this is just doomed for failure. It just is what it is.